ASMR video. It's 15 minute, but I gave a bonus 15 minutes on top of it for anyone who books a custom ASMR video now through August 6th at midnight, Eastern Standard Time Zone. And it gives me permission to post it public on my YouTube page, so thank you for everyone signing up so far. So, that's still, the offer should still be valid by the time you see this video. So, yeah, so any 15 minute, 30 minute, or hour long you book on my website, you're going to get a bonus 15 minutes for free, okay? As long as you give me permission to post it public. Okay, so this video, I do want to read the message. It is from a person named Caroline. Thank you, Caroline, for booking. They said, "Hello, Tony. I saw your special offer about extra 15 minutes for any custom ASMR video that's allowed to be posted and decided to take it. Well, thank you for taking it. Thank you. I would love to have a video about good crystals to work for 2 things. 1, creativity and success in work. 2, insomnia. Besides the ones you already meant in a past video." So that was hard to look up because I don't remember exactly what video, and I tried my best to pick rare crystals I never really mentioned before, and for this video in particular. Now I'm not going to be able to show half the crystals I'm talking about because I simply don't have them. They're either very rare, very expensive, or both. But also, it's not part of my collection simply because they are not drawing me in, and also because they're so rare that I don't really use extremely rare stones, gemstones for clients' Reiki healings. I use the common ones like howlite, amethyst, aventurine, like some semi-rare ones, but not like ultra rare, right? Like one of them I'm going to talk about today, you hardly, like example, like ruby and fuchsite, like you hardly ever going to use that for Reiki healing. So yeah, so anyway, I'm already into crystals, so I already work with the most known ones. I saw that you have a lot of rare or uncommon crystals, and I would love if you could incorporate them in this video since you have way more experience with them than me. Thank you for the attention as always, and all the blessings to you and your followers. So thank you for blessing my followers. I appreciate that dearly. Okay, so let's put that aside now. I've tried my best to pick a couple more rare ones. A couple not so rare ones. Really, like it's so hard to find rare stones that I have that are specifically for insomnia and creativity and success in work. It's just, this was hard. Okay, I really took like half an hour to really write notes, do my research, prepare images, because I don't have half the crystals. I'm gonna show you half the crystals in a book, because I still want you to be able to connect with the energy of the crystal itself that I'm talking about. The other half, I'm going to physically show you the crystal, okay? Sound good? So, yeah, again, I apologize. And I could have ordered the other crystals technically. But, you would have waited weeks for this video, so I also don't want you to wait an eternity for a video. Because that, in itself is, you guys are very understanding. I've never had anyone get mad at me for waiting for a booking. But I just don't like the feeling of someone waiting too long on me. So I'm going to start with insomnia, okay? So for insomnia, I have picked sugilite, charoite, celestite, and howlite, blue howlite specifically, okay? So sugilite, charoite, celestite, and blue howlite for insomnia, okay? So you can already see how a couple are rare, a couple are common, right? So for sugilite, I'm just going to begin talking about the basic properties, and then I'm going to go further in depth. Okay, so I have to start showing a picture. So this is directly from the Book of Stones by Robert Simmons and Aisha Ayasian. Okay. So if I flip through to sugilite, this is the crystal of great for love. Remember, this is insomnia I'm talking about, but I'll explain. So the basics about this crystal, okay? Just love, wisdom, and protection. That's good for all those things, okay? Protection you kind of do need in your sleep. A lot of times you can get attacked by spiritual dark forces in your sleep, so it is highly recommend that you pray, call upon your angels, your guides for protection before you fall asleep at night. If you have nightmares or, you're scared of, like, you have sleep paralysis, stuff like that, I have been attacked once in my sleep. That was no fun. So, I wish I would have prayed beforehand, and now I like to imagine, like, just white, pure, infinite light beaming down into my room, my home, and into myself at my core. And that just covers and protects, okay? But prayer also definitely helps. So, sutra light actually absorbs stress and negativity. So, a lot of times you can't sleep because you're going through stress and negative energy. So that's pretty self-explanatory. If you carry those things with you in your bedroom, it's not going to serve you well to get a good night's sleep. It calms your worries. So a lot of times you're up at night thinking, worrying, stressing out. It connects spiritual awareness. So sometimes you need spirit to help guide you, like, hey, why you're not getting good sleep, or sometimes you need spirit to step in and help with your sleep. Spirit is subtle, soft, and gentle. So you can call upon your angels. Angels are soft, subtle, gentle beings. They're not in your face, they're hardly noticeable, so that's good for sleep. Those things that are just, again, soft, subtle, and gentle, like ASMR videos, right? So meditation before bed with sutra light would probably be recommended for you. It also eases grief, okay? Any grief you're having, you lost a loved one, that can be very hard for you to stay asleep or fall asleep, okay? So sutra light is a very wonderful stone for a lot of things in general, okay? So the next one is charoite. So I have charoite right here, actually. It was gifted to me, otherwise I probably never would have bought it. It's not those crystals that really resonate with me, but I'll use it in a Reiki once in a blue moon. So it kind of has like a purpley orange and black hue, maybe a hint of like gray. It's very interesting. Could be mistaken for green or amethyst, But these are my notes. See, I wrote a lot of notes. Deep spiritual transformation. Okay. So sometimes you just need to transform your life to get some good sleep, Like if you're feeling stuck, this will push you forward. But that's just the basics of what it's good for. It's good for inner strength as well. Emotional healing. So, if you're up crying at night, like from worry and stress, this will be good for you if you're emotionally exhausted, It helps you let go of old fears. A lot of times we are afraid. What if something crawls at me in the middle of the night? What if something is spooking me or wakes me up? Or what if someone comes in my room or my house? You know what I'm saying? So this helps releasing those fears so you can sleep well, especially if you've had past traumatic experiences in your life. It transmutes stress and anger. You're just not letting go. You're so pissed off at someone. That's the number one thing that keeps me up. I think that is the number one thing that can probably keep many people up. In fact, is like when there's a lack of forgiveness. When you just can't let go of what when you just simply can't let go of what something. When you simply cannot let go of what the thing that someone did to you, basically, is what I'm trying to get at, okay? So it boosts optimism as well, okay? So, when you're in a more positive, high vibration state of being and mind and spirit, you are better able to get focused on rest, because sleep is, again, I check out my recent video. I have a whole video on the sleep hygiene, and a whole video I just made another video I recently made. I'm stumbling over my words today. On ways I like to relax, and so that might help you. But sleep is like a routine oriented thing. If you are not having that routine throughout your day, and if you're not taking the time to be silent, to not have your headphones in your ears, to just listen and to let your mind wander and think, you're not going to get good sleep at night. Because the only time you actually finally take off your headphones and let your mind be and wander and think is when you're laying in bed doing nothing, just trying to sleep, right? So make sure during the day you are doing something like working with these crystals, so that you can work on yourself to where in a routine format, so you stick with a routine so that you can get better sleep, okay? So Suchalite and then Charaway also for insomnia. The next one is Celestite, okay? Celestite. So it's this pretty baby or sky blue and white hue with like a gray backing. It's kind of the color of the stone for this one. It's good for heavenly peace. Oh, that just sounds wonderful, like heavenly peace, right? This is really great. Any light blue, pastel, light purple, light pink color, like those are all so good for sleep. White, like selenite, clear quartz, angel light, blue lace agate, like those are all so good. They're basic stones though, so I'm not picking them for this video today, and I've already talked about, one video I have like 5+ years ago was like great crystals for sleep. You can look that one up. It's over an hour long, so you can look that one up for all the crystals for sleep. I have over 3,500 videos on YouTube. So I think over 4,000 actually on other channels. So there's plenty of content for you to research and look up, like Tony Bomboni crystals, Tony Bomboni sleep, Tony Bomboni spiritual. You get the idea. Angelic connection, okay? What was I talking about the angels earlier? Mental clarity as well as relieving racing thoughts. The thing that keeps you upright and connects with your spirit guide. Sometimes spirit will help you fall asleep, okay? They will remind you gently, hey, this is what you should be doing. Maybe you should turn that lamp off. Maybe you should change your pillow or clean your bed sheets. Spirit will let you know. How do you enter spirit? Hold a crystal. Let your mind wander. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. They'll start communicating with you more with time. It takes practice. I don't want to take too much more time out of that. Next is blue howlite. So it's kind of a common crystal. Wasn't going to pick this one, but I had no choice. Another great crystal for insomnia, by the way, is blue sapphire. I only have it in the form of a ring, a piece of jewelry, so I'm not going to show that today because I only wanted to pick 10 crystals today. So I only have so much time in a video, right? But blue howlite is an excellent crystal for calm. I already feel so relaxed just even holding it, One time I went on a date years ago, and the guy was stressing about his business. He was about to lose everything. And I just intuitively picked blue howlite, gave it to him. He held it. He felt so much better. And in fact, after like 2 days later, his business started to succeed, like blow up. So I'm not saying howlite helped or I helped him, but I do believe in the miracle of healing crystals for sure. So I like blue howlite. Clear communication, even when I'm like really upset, where my blood pressure's up, someone really upset me, someone just pissed me off, I will have blue howlite, and I'm telling you, by the end of the day, I almost forgot what happened. It's a miracle stone for me. And it always drew me in as a kid too. So something I frequently work with. Great for the throat as well. But clear communication, emotional healing. Sometimes there's unresolved issues with a family member. member, with a partner, a best friend, and you just intuitively feel, I have to tell that person something before I go to bed at night so I'm able to get some sleep, And a lot of unresolved issues will be resolved with this crystal. It eases your anxiety. Again, it's anxiety is fear, fear is anxiety, same thing. Let's go of rage, okay? As I mentioned, encourages patience, okay? Sometimes you're restless and you're impatient. You're like, I need to get to sleep already. I need to fall asleep already. So this will relax you enough to where you're not restless and waiting for yourself to fall asleep. You just let it happen. It's good for deep relaxation. Obviously, when you're so deeply relaxed, you fall asleep easier. And good for better sleep as well. So work with blue howlite, even if it's not a rare stone, okay? All right. So most of the crystals that I personally have for this video specifically are the ones for insomnia. I only have one other one that is great for creativity and success in work. There's 3 that are good for creativity. That is blue apatite, tangerine quartz, and iolite. The 3 for success in work, which I think we all need right now, is Herkimer diamond, ruby in fuchsite. A lot of times it's just called ruby fuchsite. Some people may call it fuchsite ruby, doesn't matter. And gold sheen obsidian. Okay, so, actually there is one more crystal I do have. I'll show you soon, but okay, so one for creativity is blue apatite. So this is great for like a lot of things: calming, weight loss, communication, clarity, and manifestation. That's what these are great for. I didn't know about manifestation. That's pretty good to know. So inner wisdom, deep clarity, and focus. So, how does this have to do with creativity, you may ask, right? Sometimes you just need clarity or to manifest that creativity. Sometimes you need the inner wisdom to, look within yourself and for answers. Creativity is such a complex subject because it just comes. For me at least, it just randomly happens without even trying. When you're trying to force yourself to be creative, in my line of work, I have to be creative for a living. If I'm not, that can affect my money, that can affect my business, and my flow as well, and how many people I reach online. So it's so important, it really does suck when, there's like creative blocks, because they can last such a long time. But so focus is great for focus as well. So you can focus on creativity. It's an ambition stone. So it transforms your big dreams that you have on your vision board into reality. So, sometimes you just need that creative inspiration to get there, So blue apatite is really wonderful stone for those things. Okay, so next one is tangerine quartz. So I'm gonna open up the book and share with you how it looks. It's just almost like an orange clear quartz type. Okay, tangerine quartz. So it's a very fiery crystal. This book actually says it's great for creativity, passion, sexuality, inspiration, curiosity, innocence, and playfulness. So, yeah. Like I said, I don't really have the crystal for that one. So, it's joy, creativity, inner strength, restores playfulness. So a lot of times your creative nature, it is that second chakra, the sacral chakra, right? It is your inner child area, right? So you have to have fun with your creativity. You can't just take it serious or treat it like a business or only for money, right? That blocks your creative expression, okay? Actually, in fact, how you make more money is not focusing on making more money. It's actually focusing on fulfilling your purpose here. Creating, doing what feels right, that brings you money automatically, right? So, you know, since it's in line with Caroline, what you're asking for, creativity and success in work. Those two things go hand in hand, all right? So also I would recommend 1 stone for creativity, 1 stone for success in work in your pocket, okay? All right. But it's great for curiosity and a love of life as well, you know? Dive deep, be curious about, open yourself to the inner curiosity of like, what is inside of me that I haven't really created or shown to the world yet, right? That'll open that part of you up. And you know, you gotta love life a little bit to kind of have the inspiration to be creative. If you're depressed, if you're going through a lot of debt, or you're, you know, not always, but you know, you're not gonna feel as motivated. You're gonna be like miserable when you wake up in the morning. You're gonna feel like everything's a drag on your day, and you're gonna be very negative all the time. So tangerine quartz gets you out of that funk. It ignites, I almost said autistic. I can't even read my own handwriting. Yeah, it ignites autistic creation. Jesus Christ. Well, autistic people are very creative, by the way. They're geniuses in their own way, but no, that is not what I meant to say. It ignites artistic creation. Jesus Christ. And passion as well. And new ideas, as I've mentioned. So it helps you relieve your past so you can be able to move forward. Okay. So it's a wonderful crystal for creativity overall. In fact, I think it's the probably of the rare crystals highly recommended one in my book. So the next one is, drumroll, iolite. Iolite actually drew me in unexpectedly while doing my research. So here it is. It's kind of like a bluish purplish. It looks kind of like a soda light type color, but it looks more like a diamond or like a quartz kind of abstract formation. It's not quite like a dense like a soda light. It's more transparent looking. Yeah. Great for the third eye. All right. So great for intuition, inner vision, and giving you a clean direction. So you need a lot of spirit to help guide you as well and back you up too, you know. Even if you struggle with being spiritually creative, this can be great for you. It allows you to look deep within yourself and find your true path, your true calling, right? And that's what I mentioned is it. Once you find that, once you realize what it is you're here to accomplish and set out to do, holy crap, like, I don't think you're ever going to struggle with being creative ever again, like, honestly, because you'll be in alignment with your true calling, and it automatically takes care of everything else in your life. You know, it's a constant, it's a state of flow. It's a state of being when you, again, don't focus on things that you can't control. Like, just focus on what I'm here to do. Everything is blessed and given to you abundantly, you know. Spirit will help you if you are just doing what you're supposed to be doing on this planet. All right? And it's something you've always wanted to do. It's that feeling, it's that pull, that urgency, even if you're afraid of it, you know. Again, for the fear, the anxiety, if you're struggling and that's holding you back, work with I just had it. The one I just said was about anxiety. Yes, howlite. There was one other. And charoite, right? Howlite and charoite. Pair those two together if you're struggling with, you know what your purpose is and plan here, but you want to remain calm while you go for it so that you ease any fear you're having. So iolite boosts your gut feeling as well. You know, trusting your intuition of like, what am I supposed to be doing now, right? Maybe I'm not supposed to create this project today. I'm supposed to do it on Tuesday next week, right? Opens you to trusting more. Because sometimes it's not even about being creative. You can have the most creative work, the most beautiful voice, the most awesome looking outfit in a music video. But if the timing is off, if the planets are not aligned, It's not going to work. It's not going to take off. That's why a lot of times when someone doesn't even quote unquote try hard, their video goes viral, or they get the job they want when they didn't even really expect to even get it. They just completely let it go. But they knew something bigger was coming, because sometimes those things are just stepping stones in your life. They're not. Everything is the next step in your life, basically, right? It's not the final result. So always look at it that this may not be where I'm going to be in 5-10 years, but it's the next step to get me there. So, you have to trust your gut throughout the whole process, that you're eventually going to be led to where you're going, okay? I know it's tiring. I know it's an exhausting journey, but the crystals can help you to work with you and your energy. What crystals do is they store the frequency of infinite old knowledge and wisdom. So you're acquiring all of that while you are working with the stones and holding them, okay? That's why you randomly think of stuff or pick up on vibes or feelings or impressions when you work with certain crystals, because of that ability for them to store that knowledge, okay? It's deep, it's earth history and wisdom and all the experiences of the past ancestors in those crystals. If you think about it, they walked over those crystals with their bare feet and sent their energy your way. I know it sounds weird. It's oh my God, it's trippy. But yeah, if you think about it, it's true. And the earth is healing. It has a healing vibration. So it quiets a busy mind as well. So iolite is wonderful. So yeah, blue apatite, tangerine quartz, and iolite, great for creativity. So for moving on to success and work, I know this is a little bit of a long video. I'm sure you don't mind. Herkimer diamond, ruby and fuchsite, and gold sheen obsidian, okay? So Herkimer diamond is this little fella right here. It looks like a diamond. It's basically just a mini, kind of finely cut clear quartz. It's a cut into I think it was a pentagon or hexagon on both sides. So it's a double-ended penta or hexagon. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I think it's called a terminated quartz type of thing. So it's not actual diamond. It's just it's a Herkimer, right? It can amplify things. You can pair this with another crystal to amplify its effects. So it's great for attunement, high vibration energy, and spiritual clarity. So if there's no choking hazard, you can safely put this under a pillow. If you're really paranoid, actually, don't recommend just letting these loose. You can easily lose them, or maybe accidentally cut yourself on it. So I would recommend putting them in a pouch and then putting it under your pillow. And spiritual clarity helps you connect with others. So sometimes you need to network to succeed. So since you want success in work, this will amplify the intention of success. Crystals like this hold that amplification, intention, energy. So hold it in your palm over your heart. Just say, I set the intention that this will allow me to get to where I want to go in this lifetime. And then put it in your pocket throughout your day. Maybe even stitch it in your clothing. Ooh, right? That's a good idea I just thought of. It helps you connect with others and new environments as well, because sometimes success takes you to new places and new pathways. So it magnifies your positive intents. As I mentioned, it clears your blocked chakras as well. Sometimes you just have a blocked chakra that's not opening you up to the frequency of abundance. So let me go and drink some water really quickly, because I've been doing half an hour talking and just ate some very salty food. Okay, so I'm almost done, I promise. Ruby and fuchsite. The last one I will actually show. I could not find gold sheen obsidian in this book, surprisingly. It has every crystal under the sun, but for some reason not that one. But this one is sort of, it looks similar to Unikite. Don't be mistaking it for it because it's mostly green, this one. Unikite has a more orange hue, but it has greens, purplish, pinks, whites, and kind of peach color in it. Okay. So again, forgive me for not sharing the actual crystal. I can only do so much. I have to budget too for these videos in my life. Everything is so pricey. So, you know. So personal power. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. That was the other crystal. Ruby and fuchsite is great for strength. So you need thick skin to succeed in life. Self-love. You need a lot of that to carry you through hard times. Especially if you think about like celebrities, they get so much criticism. Hell, YouTubers even, like me, right? We get so much, like YouTubers alone get so much criticism, not to mention a celebrity, right? I can't imagine what they're experiencing inside. So you need a lot of that self-love to carry you so you can continue on your successful path, okay? And it's great for emotional healing as well. It opens and clears your emotional blocks. It gives you deep self-acceptance, which is the biggest thing that has helped heal me personally. Compassion and unconditional love. That's such a rare gem, but good to have. It rejuvenates your life force. Okay, so that can, you know, really, when you gain your power back, it can propel you forward in business as well. It's grounding, but helps you move forward with confidence. Okay, you need confidence to succeed. Absolutely. If you don't believe in yourself, you can't make it in this world. It releases toxic patterns that a lot of times holds you back, you know, generational old patterns, like things you keep replaying. Sometimes that is the biggest thing holding you back from moving forward in your life and, you know, getting ahead. It's great for emotional burnout as well. A lot of times, especially if you put a lot of blood, sweat, tears into your line of work, whatever it is you're doing, Caroline or Poopsies out there, you know, this will recharge you. So I feel ruby fuchsite is probably going to be the best stone to work with for all categories of your life. Inspires self-esteem, all right, and inner strength. So you need to be your own best friend during rough times. I'm just going to be honest with you, like, you're on your own. No one's going to be there telling you, oh, here's this idea. No one's going to be there to inspire you. Well, hopefully I inspired you today, but no one's going to be there on days when you're at home coming up with your brilliant ideas. No one. No one's there to save you. You are there to save yourself. Work with the crystals. You are your own God, as they say, right? Make it happen. You can make stuff happen, okay? You have to start believing in yourselves more, all right? So gold sheen obsidian, no picture, sorry. Just pretend, but it's like an orangey color quartz cluster point looking thing. So use your imagination or look it up on your own. Great for personal power, inner truth, and energetic protection. So when you are in alignment with the path of your inner calling, your truth, whatever is truth to you, not what a religion says, not what someone else says about their... Shutting that outside voice and trusting, what is my inner calling saying? What is my inner voice speaking to me? That is my inner truth. And when you accept that is your truth, at least it can change 5-10 years from now, but at least that is your inner truth now in this present moment, focus on that. If you're always listening to outside voices, what others are doing, how they're living their life, how much they have, are they married, are they single, you're losing yourself in that. You are forgetting about who you are and what means most to you and what you value most. Okay? So follow your inner calling. That shall lead the way forward. Your inner calling, your inner truth is a part of your soul-aligned purpose. If you don't have that, that is the magnet to your compass. That is a huge part of you moving forward. So work on those things. What is my truth? Then the purpose will come out. And once it does, then you shall be creative enough to move forward and create enough to continue moving forward. It's a constant feed loop. But always remind yourself about this, because sometimes we forget why we're here, why we're doing what we're doing, why we started our business to begin with, and these crystals will help remind you and bring you back home to that again. Okay, so I really hope this video helps you. So finally, other things for gold chain obsidian: aligns your ego with your higher purpose. Sometimes we need our ego in check. That was a very hard lesson for me in all my 20s. The ego mostly got in the way. It can be your biggest enemy. It can be your biggest downfall, unfortunately. So constantly keeping that in check, reminding it that it does not own you, and never to give too much power to it. It's like feeding the beast. Don't feed it too much, especially after midnight. Trust me. Okay, so it exposes your hidden self-deceptions as well. How are you lying to yourself? How are you lying to others? How are you deceiving yourself, right? How are you deceiving others? In life, you have to be honest, even if it hurts others. I feel like if you are not, you are only fooling yourself and everybody around you as a result. So look in the mirror and accept your flaws. We all have them. Root causes of habits, that's a big one. Where is this stemming from? Why am I doing what I'm doing in a negative way? And your subconscious blocks. What are your belief systems, right? That often holds you back from success in life, okay? Gold chain obsidian is wonderful to work with. You pair that with ruby and fuchsite. Holy crap. Now I want to buy these. Meditate with them, right? For those wondering, I usually go on Etsy. I like to go on metaphysical stores, don't get me wrong, but it's so hard to find a lot of these crystals there. So Etsy's my go-to for rare crystals. Even though it's expensive with the shipping, I know. They always come from like Madagascar, Germany, like just far away places, like the most absurd shipping, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Okay, powerful negative energy barrier. So again, if you are like a celebrity, you're gonna need this, okay? And it's a psychic protection. Again, if you have millions of eyes on you every single month or year, so many influencers out there nowadays, you have to protect your energy. You don't know who is sending you what negative vibes, negative energy, negative intentions, even just looking at you funny, that goes through the screen, that goes to you, so you need to work with your protections. These are great ways to do it, okay? Because somebody, I've had 18 years plus YouTube experience, can try to destroy you and crush your dreams and sabotage your life, right? They try to come for you. Jealousy, spite, or their own bitter or psychotic tendencies, right? So it is important to protect your energy so you do not attract people who come into your harm's way, right? So this is why I recommend a combination of the three. You doing the work, working with crystals, imagining a protective barrier around you, also cleansing the energy of your home, and making sure you are recharged when you are feeling your best. You are high vibe enough to where you're not attracting low density people, So if you're in a bad place, maybe that's not the best time to create, because you may unintentionally send off that negative energy, and then it boomerangs back because the universe is a mirror, right? So it's hard. I know it's hard, especially if you have bills to pay. You have to create. I get it. You're not going to be perfect every day. No one's asking you to, in fact. A lot of times when you work with healing crystals, they allow you to accept yourself enough to where you don't have to be perfect. You can just be, right? That's the point. But by perfect, I mean just being, that middle ground, that centered self, where you're grounded, content, you're not overexcited, but you're not overly depressed either, right? You're just in an in-between state where you are just an ideal sweet spot, You're neither happy nor sad, you just are. I think that's the best platform to create from, personally speaking. But because if you're like always creating out of like high volatility excitement, you're going to crash. And You're gonna have days where you're feeling extreme opposite of that, and it's gonna suck. It's gonna feel worse. So it's always ideal measurement to, keep yourself in check every day through meditation and working with crystals. Where am I at today? How can I maybe tone it down a little bit? Or how can I rise myself up just a little bit, and adjust accordingly. So don't work with the same crystal every single day of your life. Change it up based on how you're feeling, okay? So that's my from the heart best advice for you guys for insomnia, creativity, and success in work. Again, for insomnia is sudrolite, charoite, celestite, blue howlite. For creativity, blue apatite, tangerine quartz, iolite. For success in work, Herkimer diamond, ruby and fuchsite, and gold sheen obsidian. All right, I love you all so very much. Thank you, Caroline, again for booking this video from me and giving me permission to post online. If you'd like to go ahead and sign up for your own custom ASMR with me, you can go ahead and do that on TonyBomboni.com. Links in the description and the comment section below. I'm going to remind everyone for the next few days at least how to click what's in the description box. How do you open it? Because YouTube changed things. You have to physically push with your finger or your mouse, click on the title of the video. There's a title of the video down below this video. You have to click the title to open the description box. That's pretty much how you do it nowadays, okay? So you can see all my links there. That's so important because a lot of people don't know that. They don't know where's the description. How do you open it? That's where it is. I hate so much that it's hidden now. I don't know why they changed things so much, but yes, you have to physically click the title to open that description box. A lot of times it's hard to do it because there's like the thumbs up, thumbs down, share button next to it. It's all crammed. It makes it so much harder to open it. The sweet spot is typically, I don't know how it looks on your browser, but for me it's like the right side. Let's open my recent video and show you, for example. It'll say ... more, but on a lot of videos, unfortunately, it doesn't show it. Just click the right side of the title, where it says like getting your nails done at the nail salon. Try to click nail salon, like the last two words, like the right side of the title. That should trigger the opening of the box, okay? You may have to give it a couple slaps with your finger or mouse click, but yeah. So if there's any confusion where my links are, they're all there in the description box below. Click the title. Okay. Thank you. I love you. See you.